first of all, thank you very much for joining today. It's a pleasure to be here. These webinars that we're putting on are just us really wanting to reach out to our potential clients and our existing clients and give them a little bit of insights as to some of the products that we're offering, and also kind of find out what you guys are after in terms of more content. So as we go through this, if you're finding it interesting, or if you're not finding it interesting, do feel free to let us know about it, because your feedback is what's going to fuel our future endeavors into this sort of content creation. We do them weekly. This particular setup is really just to show you about Proppit, but we've had a load of really cool requests coming in about some of the other topics that you'd like us to cover. So if you've got any ideas about what you'd like to hear about next, we'll give you an opportunity to do that via a feedback form after this seminar. Obviously, it's a live demo, so I'm going to take you through what Proppit is. I'm going to take you onto the dashboard and give you a little bit of a tour. Normally, I would say don't try to hold your questions to the end, but as I said, there's only a few of us in here today, so feel free to stop me if I'm going too quickly, or if you'd like to see something in a bit more detail. Just stick your hand up and I'll make sure that I cover all the bases for you. I think the important place to start is what Proppit is and why we came up with it as a product, and really us as a background for Dot Property Group, and you guys getting an opportunity to see who we are and what we're currently doing in the market. So let's try and look at that now. Okay, so here we go. You can see a really cool map here. This is Southeast Asia, obviously, and you can see some big green dots over that, which is basically landmarking where we have a presence. And as you can see, we are fairly widespread. Obviously, we're calling in from the Bangkok office in Thailand, but we've also got offices in Vietnam and the Philippines, and websites in each of the other locations that you can see across here as well. So yeah, 11 property portals websites. In fact, we've actually brought in 3 more into Thailand since writing this presentation. So it's growing all the time. We're part of a larger network called Lifeall Connect, which has property portals and property aggregating businesses all across the world, hundreds and hundreds of spots of operation for us around the world. So we're a very, very large contributor to this industry, and we're really a driving force, particularly for the expat market here in Thailand and across Southeast Asia. And what we're trying to do, we're trying to help put real estate professionals in touch with a home buyer or potential home renters in the most simple and efficient way possible. So you can see on the left, simple search. We've got a really comprehensive search functionality across all of our portals. When you go on one, you'll be able to use it straight away. There's nothing out of the blue. It's very user friendly. And we try to make that kind of a statement piece across all of the different services and products that we produce. You want to be able to have intuitive functionality. We want you to basically sell faster. So as soon as we put you in touch with somebody, or as soon as you upload a property onto our property portals, within an hour, you're live across the websites, and giving you the best chance to meet up with somebody and potentially do some business. And then obviously we want to make sure that you have an opportunity to boost yourselves against your competition. So we have lots of various different of upgrading features and functions to help you lift your properties up in the search results pages, and give yourself a better chance of winning the business deal. And then obviously the audience, we have millions of local people obviously coming onto the website, millions of viewers coming on each day to try and find a property for themselves, and using our platform basically gives you the opportunity to do that. Now, we face an initial problem in that we have lots and lots of portals, 6 specifically here in Thailand, and we want to make it easier for you guys to jump onto those and start making business deals via these portals. And we can't do that just simply by having you upload onto 6 different places. So this is actually where we brought in into Proppit. Proppit means that you can upload, it's a dashboard where you can upload your properties in one place. You can organize all of your listings there. You can organize all of your inquiries there. You can also pay in one spot for all 6 of the websites. Now, so you might recognize some of these names. You might find some of them a little bit unfamiliar. But we started off with Thailand Property, which is Thailand's biggest expat property portal. I say expat because it's in English language. but we also wanted to approach the domestic markets. We soon afterwards launched dotsproperty.co.th, which is, as I say, in the domestic Thai language, but is almost identical in every way to Thailand Property. We then later bought HitFlat, very, very successful property portal in their own right. They were doing particularly good things with their user experience on their website, which we thought was innovative and cool. So we actually ended up purchasing that website as well to add to our list of portals under our umbrella. And then there are three names which you might not be so familiar with: Nestoria, Metula, and Proppit. These three are very big players in Europe, particularly in Spain, which is where they launched. And we've actually recently brought those into the Thai market as well. So if you do a search today, you'll see Nestoria, Metula, and Proppit. And like I say, with those 6 property portals, we want to make it as easy as possible for you guys to list on all of them. That way you get the best coverage across, or essentially across the internet. You get the biggest audience and the largest scope to find a property buyer or a home renter. And we want to make that as easy as possible. So what we've done is we created Proppit. It's essentially a brand new tool designed for Dot Property Group clients to manage their listings and inquiries across all of our property portals in just one place. And I think actually the best way to display that and show that to you is if we jump onto the dashboard itself. So I'm going to quickly share this page. There we go. I hope you can all see that. Now, what we can see straight off the bat here is the dashboard as you would land on it if you were to sign in onto your account once you purchased a package with us or a subscription with us. Now, starting in the top left-hand corner, this will be your name, your agency name. And as you scroll along here, you'll notice all of the websites that you are featuring on. Now, I mentioned before that Proppit enables you to get on all 6, which it does. But also, if you were less interested in approaching the expat market, we can actually chop off Thailand Property. So you only have to use these 5, which are much more domestic focused, and that makes it a little bit cheaper for you. But really, if you wanted to get the expat exposure, Thailand Property is the place to be. And then we put all the rest of them on there as well. Previously, if you were to buy a package with just Thailand Property or just Dot Property or HitFlat, the combination of that would be significantly more expensive, considerably more hassle to upload onto all of those places. And we've made it cheaper and easier to list on all 6 all at the same time. As we scroll down the page, we want to basically give you an opportunity to analyze how you're performing across the websites, how you're performing against yourself, essentially month on month or week on week, depending on how much you want to be granular about your analytics. And on this side is something that we have direct control over. And this is the number of displays of your properties in a search results page. Now, what do I mean by displays? A display means that your listing has appeared, or an impression of your listing has been on one of our search results pages. So if I were to search for a condo in Bangkok, 1 bedroom, and then my listing features on that page, that would be 1. That count as 1 little tick up in this particular box. So this demo account, you can see they've had 3,141 displays in the last 30 days. Now we have control over this because you're able to purchase a subscription plan with boosting that would enable you to essentially put your listings at a very high point in the search results pages and make sure that you're featuring in as many search results as possible. Obviously, you then have to make sure that your portfolio is meeting what people want to buy or what the homeowners are looking for. So always analyzing what your portfolio is looking like is very important. But essentially, a display is whether or not when someone's made a search, if your listing is going to appear there. So the more you look into this and the higher that number goes, the more likely you are to get inquiries on the other side, which is quite a nice segue into the visits. So a visit is when someone then decides to click on your property when they found it in the search results page. If they click on it, that little number goes up by 1 as well. And obviously, if you divide the number of displays by the visits, you'll see the kind of the percentage of chance that someone's actually going to click on your properties, or how interesting it is to the buyer, which is a very important metric, because what that really suggests is, are the properties that are being displayed in the search results pages something that somebody wants to buy? Are your images catching somebody's attention? Is your price point right? Once someone has seen your listing, would they actually want to go ahead and find out more information about it? So again, the higher this visit number is, probably the better your listings are for what the property buyers are looking for, and also probably the better the images are that you're displaying to everybody. So again, it's an important one to follow, and we can see that this account's doing fairly well with that. And then obviously the inquiries. This says 70 inquiries from 20 leads, and this is a very important distinction. An inquiry is when somebody sends a message in and basically asks for more information about a property, but it will count more than once if there's from one person. So if one person sends in an inquiry for 3 of your properties, that would count as 3, but it would only count as 1 lead. So this is an important metric for you guys to follow. This is 70 inquiries from 20 individual buyers. And again, I'll go into the inbox in a minute so you can see what that looks like. But it's an incredibly useful way of working out actually how interested people are in your properties, but also making sure that it's collated into a space which is easy for you to digest and for you to be able to reach out to people directly and understand how many people are interested in your properties. Now, as you scroll down, you can see the properties element of the overall page or the overview page, and we can see 15 out of 15 boosted properties. Now, I've mentioned the word boosting before, and I want to kind of go into a bit more detail about what that is. The way that we differentiate, or the way that we rank listings in the search results page, or what determines whether or not your listings are going to appear at the top or the bottom of the search results page, has a number of different factors, but predominantly it's the boosting rate of that particular listing. So you could purchase a standard plan with no boosting, and that will basically put you at the bottom rung. If you purchase more boosting, more of your listings will begin to appear further up in the pages. You can list an unlimited number of listings for free once you've purchased a package. So let's say you purchase 15 boosted properties, excuse me. Once you've bought your 15 properties to boost, you can actually upload an unlimited number of listings. So let's say you have 3,000 listings in your portfolio. You can purchase a 15 listings package and upload all 3,000. Bear in mind that if you haven't boosted your properties, they're very unlikely to be found, but you can have all of your listings then stored onto the back end, onto the dashboard here, and you can then swap and change at your discretion the listings that you want to be boosted. So this is a quick way to see how many of the listings they're currently boosting. In this case, there's 15 out of 15, but we offer packages from 10 all the way up to 10,000. You pick. We do insist that your listings are live and real and they're representing a property which is actually available in the market. But really, the sky's the limit. You can pick how many listings that you want to upload, and we want to give you the ability to have complete freedom over that. In this case, they have 10 non-boosted properties. So this person's uploaded 25, of which 15 are boosted and 10 are not. Let's have a look at that properties page. So properties, this is a list of all of your listings in your portfolio. This can be managed either by uploading manually, or you can use what we call an XML feed. An XML will allow you, or allow us even, to read everything on your website and copy it directly onto ours. Now, that sounds quite complicated. Realistically, it's not. There's a very simple function that will, your web developer will be able to put that together for you. But really what we're doing is we're copying across all of the details from your website and formatting it as such so that it matches what we're looking for on our website. So while it is fairly simple to do, it is incredibly important that this is accurate and it follows the guidelines that we'll provide you with. Otherwise, we won't be able to match exactly what you're listing on your site. We might have some problems with images. You might have some problems with prices. So it has to be exactly accurate. But once you've got that bridge covered, then you should have a complete portfolio as you see it on your website. And actually, that's live updates as well. So as you update your portfolio on your site, it will then automatically update across all 6 of our websites overnight. So incredibly useful tool there to allow you to match your listings. Now, once you've done that and you've successfully seen all of your properties uploaded onto the dashboard, you can then manage them from this dashboard here. So from this element of the properties tab. And from the left going to the right, you can see the brief description of what your property is. You can see the photo that you've chosen. Obviously the identification number that you might have for that particular property, so you can search for it quickly. Whether or not you've listed it for sale or for rent or both, the prices, but then the really interesting stuff, the displays, visits, and inquiries that this particular listing has managed to accrue. So in this instance, this listing has featured in 13 displays. And this is really helpful as it allows you to see which of your listings have been successful, which ones perhaps haven't been so successful. And then you can start managing your dashboard and your portfolio to make sure that you're only listing the best possible properties that are going to give you the best chance of making a sale. So for example, this particular one is incredibly successful with 55 inquiries and nearly 2,000 impressions or displays across the website. So really good, a good way of working out which of your properties is doing well. So if we go to click on that now, it will take us through to another page. And we can see all of the different criteria that you can then alter, or at least that we expect you to fill in for each of your properties as well. Now, as I mentioned before, the ranking of your properties is based on a number of different metrics. Obviously, the boosting level is incredibly important to that. But also we rate the quality of the listing. And what do I mean by quality? Really what this is making sure that you have all of these fields filled out. The more you have filled out, the higher the ranking for that particular quality of listing is going to be, and therefore the higher it's going to perform, or the better it's going to perform in the list of properties on the search pages. Now, there are quite a lot of different fields that you need to fill out. You don't actually have to fill any of them out, but the more you fill in, the better the experience is going to be for the person looking for a property, and the much better chances that someone's going to click on it and therefore try and find out some more information. But as we scroll down, you'll notice that we have the opportunity to put in project name, so it will take you directly to where that property is. You can put in like the map coordinates, but you can also put in photos. You can put in all the different floors, bedrooms, bathrooms. You can put in floor plans, YouTube URLs if you do walkthroughs and stuff online. And we also have things like virtual tours, which you can use Matterport or another contributing agent for using virtual tours. You'll then see all the different facilities that we have on our website. Now, this is where we have some discrepancies between our customers or our clients and what we show on our website. You might call something car park. Some people might call it a garage, and we need to make sure that those match, which is why your XML feed needs to be exactly perfect so that we can move it across. As I say, your web developer will know exactly how to deal with that, so don't worry too much about that. But making sure that you fill these in is very, very important. You can then go down and you'll notice that you have property descriptions in both English and in Thai. Again, this is important too, as you'll be displaying in English language on thailandproperty.com, but you'll be displayed in Thai language on all of the other websites and HitFlat as well when you convert that into Thai or English. So having it in both languages is really key if you want to make sure that you're actually going to reach out, or people are going to be able to understand what it is that you're listing. As you scroll down further, you'll also see the contact details. This is your spot where you can actually assign a phone number, a WhatsApp, a Facebook Messenger, Line group, whatever you use, to either yourself or to maybe one of your agents in your business, so you can give properties directly to somebody else within the business. This is great. We do issue a caution on that, and we've seen instances where agents have taken advantage of this and taken leads for themselves. So do make sure that when you put someone else's contact details into this area of the properties tab, that you're being careful about who you put in there. My recommendation would be that you send it all to yourself and then you forward your inquiries on to other people. But obviously, if you want to include other people's details in here, you have the opportunity to do that. Now let's jump back onto the properties tab, as there's a couple of other functions. Here's the date. Now, this is the date that the listing was uploaded. This is another very important metric for us as we use it as part of our ranking algorithm. We want to make sure that people are listing new properties that have come onto the market fairly recently. If a property was uploaded 5 years ago, the likelihood of it being actually real and available is fairly slim. So we actually downgrade listings that have been online for a very long time. If it's brand new, they get a good score. So this shows you when it was last uploaded, and it's something that you should pay attention to, and make sure that your listings in your portfolio is as up to date as physically possible. As we move along, we can see the boost as well. So as we scroll down, we'll notice some have a little cross against them. That means that it is not boosted, but you can have you can click on that button and it will then boost that property for you. And you can do that to deactivate as well. And then publication. This means that it's actually showing on the website. If you were to click this button and make it unpublished, it would be lying dormant in this section of the website. It would be in the dashboard, but no one would see it across our websites. So you have to make sure that you're publishing the listings that you want to be seen. That's more or less it on the properties tab. Let's move into the inbox. So in many ways, the inbox is the most exciting part of what we're offering. This is where you can see all of the people that have made an inquiry into your portfolio and have taken an interest in your properties and therefore reached out to you. Now, what's an important distinction is what we consider an inquiry, what we consider a lead. And I think it's fair to say that we are market leading in the quality of our listing, or our leads, sorry, in that we require quite a lot of information from the buyer before we send you the information. And it means that you get a really well-rounded idea of who the person is, even before you've contacted them back. So you can see here the listing that this person has inquired upon. You can see their full name at the top left. You can also see the location that they've inquired from. So we use an IP address for that. So we can see that this person's called in or messaged in from Australia, which is useful because if someone's calling in or messaging in from overseas, it might be useful to know what their time zone is, for example, whether or not they're actually able to come and visit the property. It might be more difficult if they're calling in from overseas. But we're able to give you all that information straight off the bat. We also then give you your email address, obviously. That's probably the best way to reach out to somebody, and their phone number. Now, this QR code here, if you were to scan that, it would log all of that information straight into your phone, so you'll never lose another sales lead. That'll be saved forever. Now, underneath the contact's interests, so we track the kind of properties that this person's been searching for and give you a overview of what those properties might be, because it might be that there's a range of different price points or bedroom sizes or locations that this person is looking into. And it would enable you to then have a better conversation with this person once you start talking back and giving them information about the property that they've inquired upon. It might be that you have some other listings in your portfolio that they would be interested in as well. And we wanted to give you the opportunity to have as good of a conversation with this person as physically possible. Now, in the middle, you can see all the inquiries that this person has made. In this case, there are 3 inquiries. These are written inquiries. If it was a phone, then it would say phone inquiry. You can see the property price point, and you can see all the different things that they've said about it. And this person's also viewed the phone number. So what this means is on the website, someone has clicked a button that says view phone number. We don't show that phone number immediately. We allow them to click on it to see that phone number. At that point, we send you all of this information. So even before that person's actually reached out to you, you'll have all of the information about this particular person. You could even call them straight away if you wanted to. But if you wanted to then just reach out to them by message, there's no need for you to type into send them an email from from Gmail, for example. You can send it directly from the dashboard. So you can see here, we've already collected their information, popped it into that chat function, and you can type away and speak directly to the client from here. What's really cool as well is that we have this functionality on your mobile phone as well. You can download the app, which means that every time somebody sends you an inquiry, you'll get a push notification to say that you've received some interest, and you can then directly call them back or message them back from your phone. If, of course, you wanted to write a private note, you can do that as well. You can maybe make some notes over the kind of things that you're going to offer this particular client, or maybe you want to pass this lead on to somebody else in your team, and you can send them a little note in here as well. So you can add notes straight on the dashboard too. Now, if we jump back onto the inbox, I'll show you a couple of other cool things and features that we have on display here. So the phone number, what's really interesting about this is we want to make sure that the phone numbers that we're giving out to you are real and they call through to an actual real person. And you can see these verified phone number ticks along the side here. Now, what this means is that somebody has, or this particular person has called using this phone number to you. Now, we use a tracking mechanism where they would call a number on the front end or on the portal, which we have basically put together ourselves, which redirects to your phone number. This allows us to know whether or not someone's tried to call you, whether or not they actually got through to you. And then we can send you push notifications about all of these details immediately. What's important to note, though, is that we do not record any phone calls. All of your conversations that you have with your clients are completely your own. You had no need to worry about whether or not there's anybody listening in. It's purely a private conversation. We just wanted to make sure that we can track, and you can therefore track all of the different conversations that you're having. Now, as we come across here, you can see the number of inquiries that this particular person has made. So in this case, Geordie has made 2 inquiries. You can see that the last inquiry they made was a phone call that was received. So somebody picked up the phone. Really useful information. Now, if that person was to then say, send a message or an email, it would say something like this. In Ramesh's case, he sent an email or sent a message directly to your email address. In this case, they just clicked on the view phone number button. And so this is quite a nice way of you being able to see what stage of a sales process your leads are at. You can then also, you can filter it or order it by the last activity date. So it really does function as an inbox. If you wanted to make sure that the newest ones are at the top, you can do that. But of course, if you wanted to do it by the number of inquiries, you can see the person who's made the most amount of inquiries just simply by clicking on this button here. We'll give it a second and I'm sure it'll work just fine. There we go. Very, very cool. Now across here, you can actually see, again, we break it down into even more details. And really at this point, it's working as a CRM system, and that you can see how many have actually been contacted, how many clicks have come through onto your properties, how many proposals have been sent, how many of those have actually turned into deals as well. So this is really an opportunity for you guys to work your entire business from our dashboard. We have many clients, in fact, who maybe have a Facebook page, but don't even have a website themselves. They use our dashboard to do the entire operation of their agency. So we want to provide as many different tools and different services that enable you to do your job better, do it faster, do it more efficiently. And it's something that we're building via the feedback we're getting from you guys, from the clients. So if you have any other things that you want to see on this dashboard, if you have any things that you think could operate in a better way, the reason that most of these functions are here is because one of our clients told us it's what they wanted. So your feedback and your concerns and all the things that you're sending through to us, incredibly helpful for us. We love to hear from you guys about what you want to see next from Property. Now let's jump onto the company page. This again is really a blank canvas for you guys to show the rest of the world what your portfolio is. On each of the portals, somebody can jump onto your individual profile, and from there they can see your portfolio in its entirety without being interrupted by other agencies. They can also then see all of the description about who you guys are, and you can start to differentiate yourself and show what makes you different and special from the competition that you have. And this is the place where you would be able to edit that and make sure it's up to date. You can then also see here, as I mentioned, on each of the individual properties tabs, you can associate a different agent to each of the properties, and you can see that from a glance here as well, who you've associated to what and which properties they've been associated to. As you scroll down, again, it's the same thing, but for the phone numbers, the WhatsApps, Line, and various other different messaging services are all available here as well. Now, finally, let's jump onto the My Subscription page. So on My Subscription, really, this is giving you an overview of your package that you've purchased. You can see exactly what subscription you've got, when it's going to run out, how many days you've got left, how much it's costing you. And then, of course, if you wanted to view all of your previous invoices, we have a log of all of that here as well. So we want to make it as pain-free as physically possible. To add to that, we also offer various different payment methods, including credit card payments, which of course is the easiest way to do things. You submit your credit card in there. If at any time you wanted to cancel your subscription, we offer a 30-day subscription cancellation policy. So for any time you just wanted to stop paying us altogether, you issue us a cancellation request, and we'll turn off your subscription. We won't send you another invoice. It's as simple as that. We also offer various different payment cycles or billing cycles to give you flexibility over how much you're paying and when you're paying for your subscriptions. You could pay monthly, 3 monthly, 6 months, or you could pay for an entire year upfront for some significant discounts. But again, if you're interested in that, I think it's probably best that we get somebody to reach out to you. So feel free to drop us an email or send a message into the chat, and we'll ensure that somebody reaches out to you immediately and walks you through some of the different offerings that we have. Our price points start from 650 baht all the way up to, well, as much as you'd like to pay, really. We've got clients paying us significantly more. We've got clients who are paying us significantly less, but it basically gives you an opportunity to jump onto all of the portals and start playing the game. So yeah, we're kind of reaching out to you now. If you want to hear more about that, we'd be more than happy to provide you some information. And that really concludes the tour of the dashboard. Has anyone got any questions immediately while I'm speaking on here? I'm more than happy to field some questions now if you have some. If there's anything else you want to see, I'm happy to go over that now as well. If not, not to worry. As I say, we're going to send a feedback form out to you now as well, so you can write in any comments that you might have. Maybe there's some other topics that you want to hear about next week. All of your information is super valuable to us, so thank you for that. Okay then. Well, if that's all of the questions out of the way, let's wrap this up. I want to thank you all again for joining me today. I hope you gained something from this. If there's any other things that I can go over, please make sure you put that into the feedback form. But otherwise, I wish you a fantastic day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.